I was suspicious when my controlling MIL demanded we use her special Christmas tree for our first time hosting the family gathering. However, her lack of decorating demands threw me off guard until we plugged it in and discovered the true reason she was so insistent about that tree. I should have known something was off when that massive box arrived in October. My mother-in-law, Veronica, had always been the controlling type, especially when it came to family gatherings and the traditions surrounding them, but this was weird, even for her. "What do you make of this?" I asked my husband Brent that evening, holding up the note that came with the artificial Christmas tree. The paper trembled slightly in my hand. "This is the tree you will use for Christmas. Place it in the corner of your living room near the door. You can decorate it however you like." It read in Veronica's precise handwriting. Brent ran his fingers through his salt and pepper hair, squinting at the note. "Mom's always been particular, but sending us a whole tree, without even including specifications about decorations. No color-coordinated ornament scheme, no lecture about the proper angle for the star." I tried to keep my tone light, but the unease had already settled in my stomach like a stone. "Maybe she's finally learning to let go a little," Brent said, but his voice held more hope than conviction. "Remember last Easter? I couldn't help but bring it up. When she rearranged all the place settings I'd done because they weren't properly balanced for optimal conversation flow." Brent groaned. "Or Thanksgiving 2 years ago, when she brought her own turkey because she wasn't sure I'd cook ours the family way. Which apparently means drowning it in butter and covering it in bacon," I added, managing a laugh. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell for more amazing stories. My arteries are still recovering. I spent the next 2 months throwing myself into preparations for our first time hosting the family Christmas gathering. The tree sat in its box in the stipulated corner of our living room, like some sort of holiday-time bomb waiting to go off. Every time I passed it, that nagging feeling would return, telling me something wasn't right. "You're overthinking it," my sister Kate told me over coffee one morning in early December. Probably because, for once, Veronica isn't trying to control everything. "That's exactly what's weird about it," I insisted, stirring my latte absently. "Veronica's never given up control of anything without a fight. Last year, she made Brent's brother and his wife redo the entire Christmas dinner table because the centerpiece was blocking what she called crucial sightlines." Kate rolled her eyes. Maybe she's finally realized she needs to loosen her grip a little. Especially after that blow-up at Tommy's graduation. I winced at the memory. Veronica had caused a scene because we'd planned a small family celebration at our house instead of the formal restaurant gathering she'd apparently been planning for months. Never mind that she hadn't actually told anyone about these plans. The day of the gathering arrived crisp and bright, with just enough snow on the ground to make everything look magical. I'd spent hours getting everything perfect. The garlands were draped, just so. The Christmas cookies were arranged on vintage plates, and mulled wine was warming in the kitchen. The house smelled like cinnamon and pine, and soft Christmas music played through the speakers. "It looks amazing, honey," Brent said, wrapping his arms around me from behind as I adjusted a bowl of ornaments on the coffee table. "Stop worrying." "I'm not worrying," I lied, leaning back against him. "I just want everything to be perfect." "It will be," he assured me, but I noticed him eyeing the still unplugged tree with slight apprehension. Family members started trickling in around 4. Brent's sister Sarah arrived first with her husband Mike and their teenagers, Jason and Emma, who immediately made a beeline for the cookies. His brother David and his wife Emma came next, bringing a bottle of wine and their usual easygoing energy. "The house looks incredible, Lucy," Emma gushed, hugging me tight. "I love what you've done with the mantle." Last came Veronica, perfectly coiffed as always, her lips pressed into what passed for a smile. She was wearing her signature pearl necklace and a Christmas sweater that probably cost more than my entire outfit. "Lucy, dear," she said, air kissing my cheek. "I trust you've set up the tree I sent." "Of course," I replied, gesturing to the corner where the artificial pine stood decorated with warm white lights and a mix of vintage and modern ornaments. We were just about to plug it in. "You were? Is everyone here?" "The whole family should be present for this tradition." David muttered something under his breath, but Veronica silenced him with a look. Everyone gathered around as I reached for the plug and inserted it into the socket. That's when disaster struck. A sharp hiss cut through the holiday music playing in the background. Smoke began curling from somewhere inside the tree, and the lights started flickering like something out of a horror movie. "Oh my God, Mom, what did you do?" Brent's voice cracked as flames started licking up the artificial branches. "The fire extinguisher," I screamed, but Brent was already running to the garage. The acrid smell of burning plastic filled the air as chaos erupted around me. Sarah herded her teenagers toward the front door, while David tried to help by throwing his glass of wine at the base of the tree, which only made the flames angry and spitting. "Not the wine," Veronica shrieked, seemingly more concerned about the waste of alcohol than the fact that her gift was currently trying to burn down our house. Brent returned with the extinguisher, his face set in grim determination as he doused the tree in white foam. When the flames finally died, we all stood there in shocked silence, staring at the smoking, foam-covered mess that had nearly burned down our house. That's when Mike noticed it. "Hey, what's this?" He reached into the charred branches and pulled out something small and black. "It looks like a microphone?" The silence in the room became deafening. Brent's face went pale, then red. "Mom," he said, his voice dangerously quiet, "isn't this the same kind of listening device you asked me about last month? The one you said you were just curious about?" Veronica's perfectly composed facade cracked. I only wanted to make sure everything would be done properly. The family traditions. Traditions? Brent's voice rose. "You planted a bug in our house and nearly burned it down. What were you thinking?" "You don't understand." Veronica's voice took on a desperate edge. "Everything's changing. You're all pulling away, making your own traditions. Lucy's changing everything." "Don't you dare blame this on Lucy," Brent cut her off, stepping in front of me protectively. "She's been nothing but accommodating of your controlling behavior for years." "Mom," Sarah spoke up, her voice shaking, "this is insane. You could have hurt someone." "I never meant," Veronica started, but David cut her off. "Never meant what?" To get caught. His usual easygoing demeanor had vanished. "How long have you been doing things like this?" I watched as years of carefully maintained family dynamics crumbled before my eyes. Sarah had her hand over her mouth. David couldn't even look at their mother, and Emma was furiously typing on her phone. "I think you should leave," I said quietly, finding my voice at last. "All of you. We need time to process this." As everyone filed out, Veronica turned back, her face a mask of desperation. "I only wanted to keep the family together," she whispered. "By spying on us?" Brent's voice was thick with emotion. "You've done exactly the opposite, Mom." That night, after everyone had gone and Brent had hauled the ruined tree to the curb, I sat down at my computer and started typing. Christmas story, how my mother-in-law's listening device nearly burned down her house. The post practically wrote itself, fueled by years of subtle manipulation and controlled rage. By morning, it had gone viral. Comments flooded in from people sharing their stories of controlling relatives and holiday disasters. Local news wanted interviews. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with notifications. "You okay?" Brent asked, bringing me coffee as I scrolled through the responses. "Yeah," I said, surprising myself by meaning it.
He squeezed my shoulder.
"Next year, we're getting a real tree." I cracked a smile, where the only bugs we might find are living creepy crawlies. "Exactly," Brent grinned. "Binding bonds through beautiful tales. Thank you for watching."